Like many of you, I watch a couple booktubers. I watch some booktube sometimes. Hell, I just be clicking crazy watching random people talk about random books. Some I have no idea what they are or their genres I don't care about. Point is, I like booktube. Some good personalities, some common ground. Nothing wrong with a booktuber. But have you ever felt like you were fucking gaslit by all of them at the same time? Have you ever felt like you were being tricked uh, into buying a book because they all said it was so great? Have you ever questioned your own reality, your own sanity, your own taste because you bought the fucking book and it was terrible and you have no idea why so many of them just we're all telling you that this is a breath of fresh air in fantasy, or this is a new era, or we're eating good tonight, gang. Sometimes booktubers be fucking crazy, and what's crazy about the booktuber crazy is that it's contagious. Everyone gets it. Everyone gets the crazy, and they start recommending the same fucking garbage book and they're all saying the same thing, that it's great with great characters, great plot, great themes, great prose, and then you pick it up and it's the first one on this list, Jade fucking City. You pick it up and you're like, this is awful, this is terrible, am I insane? Yes, this video is about 5 times that booktubers gaslit me into reading a book that I thought was god awful, and I still can't figure out what everyone saw in these books to begin with. While at the same time, okay, I'm not just a super negative person. In fact, I'm mostly positive on this channel. If I'm gonna be analyzing or reviewing or fucking like spending a lot of time with a book, generally it's something that I like if I'm going to dedicate so much time to it. Or if it's something that I hate, it's part of a series that I otherwise love and I'm committed to already. I don't go out of my way to hate. And I'm not hating on any specific booktuber here, but if you have one in your mind that you think I'm talking about, it's probably that one. Why not? Why not? Let's make it personal. But like, I'm not super just negative all the time. So I'm going to include 3 times that booktubers did not gaslight me when I listened to their symphony, their synchronized fucking yammering, just cawing away about how great a fucking book is. When I actually listened to them sing in harmony about a book, and I actually bought it and I liked it. I'm going to include 3 times where I listened to booktubers and basically the recommendation changed my life, probably in a really good way. So 5 times booktubers gaslit me, plus 3 times that they didn't. Seems fair, seems reasonable. Booktube is an interesting place to get recommendations from. But, you know, the worst that can happen is you read a bad book, and like no one was harmed by reading a bad fucking book. I just think it's goofy. I just think it's funny. I just think number one on this list is also my most recent try, Jade City. The fuck were you all on when this series came out? What the fuck were you all on about? I got 300 pages into this book and hated every minute of it, every single sentence of it. The prose is the worst offender in Jade City. Not going to do any spoilers for any of these books, so you can watch in comfort, in peace. The prose is awful. It's the most hyper simplistic thing ever, yet somehow it's just clunky. I've never seen something be so simple that just buckles under its own weight, where like it doesn't even weigh that. There's not even much to it. The prose is just so simple and so awkwardly clunky, full of strange exposition that lacks any sort of personality. I don't think there's any philosophy to this book that a third grader couldn't reveal to you with a Crayola marker, dude. A Crayola marker. Crayola's are crayons with a Sharpie pen. There's probably a Crayola marker out there. I'll check. Doesn't matter. This was the darling of BookTube, and I held off on it for a while. As you see, I have like a new edition with this new fancy cover because I just went out and bought it because I wanted to try something different. Get away from some of the grim dark, take a little breath of fresh air. Jade City, I thought would be it, but it's not it. Okay, everyone says it's better than The Godfather, and I'm like, girl, can you stop fucking trying so hard? You're wearing yourself out. The Godfather, either by Mario Puzo or the films by Francis Ford Coppola, you need to understand what you're comparing it to. They're actually incomparable. Like there's nothing similar about them apart from the mafia. But if you think The Godfather is just a film or a story about the mafia, then you're the most dense motherfucker in the world. The Godfather is obviously about the Italian American immigrant experience being swallowed up whole by the new world masculinity, which self-destructs when faced with archaic old world morals, mores, and values. Like there's so much to it. Like what the fuck is this shit about? And the magic system. I felt like I was reading. It's just Jade. It's just superpowers. Felt like I was reading a superhero story, but something that even Marvel Comics wouldn't agree to publish. I really wanted to like this book. I thought a character called Shay had some promise, but I didn't care about anyone. There would be these fights that were supposed to be super intense, fight to the death, and I didn't care. I just didn't fucking care. It felt so basic. You're all comparing it to The Godfather when you ought to compare it to S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, and then it would still fail. Like there's something that's young adult about this, which makes it feel so awkward and clunky when it does erotic or spicy scenes. Like it still feels like it's just like not real. Like it doesn't. This book isn't real. Okay, your love for this book never made any sense ever. After I gave up on it 300 pages in, I went on a walk down memory lane and watched a lot of, I guess, what was it, quarantine era? When you guys were freaking out about this book? When did this book come out? I feel like it blew up in like 2020-ish. It came out in 2018. Who knows? Who knows how old the videos were that I watched? But they were old. A walk down memory lane. A lot of faces that I don't quite see much of anymore. And then like a lot of faces that are still around who would probably be deeply embarrassed by what they were saying in that old video. You guys were all fucking lying. Like you guys were all just so out of your mind. If you thought that this was a, a symbol that fantasy is so back, baby, that like fantasy is going to be different from now on, and that the characters and everything was great about this book, you're someone who I can't trust ever. The philosophy, the psychology of this book is so paper thin that it might as well be non-existent. The characters are so archetypal, are just so basic that they might as well be cardboard cutouts. The prose is so tasteless, meaning like without flavor. It's so flavorless that it might as well be Chat GPT. Fonda Lee, I am not a believer. I'm extra mad because I really listened to you guys and I bought the other two in the series. Like I bought the series all at once. Now I'm stuck with two fucking books that I don't want anything to do with. Three, counting this one. And I'm just upset that I spent all that money on a stupid fucking series that is so basic. I mean, it's the definition of basic. And I wish it wasn't. I wanted to like it. Like, you know, I love Hong Kong cinema, Hong Kong action movies. I love mafia stories mostly because of the subtext involved, not necessarily the mafia part of it. The subtext is always interesting in a great crime epic. Subtext entirely uninteresting in Jade City, but like, yeah, I like Hong Kong aesthetics, right? I love Hong Kong cinema. Everything from John Woo to Wong Kar-wai. And The Mood for Love is one of my favorite movies ever. I don't know. Thought we were gonna do something. At least interesting, but even the atmosphere itself was so boring. Like Jun Loon, it borders on the world building, in my opinion, is so fucking lazy that it borders on magical realism. Like, why even create a whole new fantasy world when you could have set it in modern day Hong Kong or San Francisco for that matter? this book isn't real. The second time I was gaslit by Brandon Sanderson, this is going back years and years, right? And it's Brandon Sanderson as a whole, as an entire fucking concept. You tried to sell me. You tried to fucking gaslight me into thinking that Brandon Sanderson was the greatest fantasy author of his generation and one of the very best of all time. You guys tried to do that hardcore. And I love it now that so many of you are like walking back on it now that I don't know, you're like 5 years older than you were back then. I remember trying out Sanderson before I watched any book talk videos and hating it. I was like Mistborn, and I fucking despised it. But then a lot of booktubers that I liked and still kind of like to this day, y'all were going crazy about his fucking books, about Way of Kings and like the rest of Mistborn and all of his other many books, very prolific fuck. And yeah, I was gaslit into thinking, okay, maybe I was in the wrong headspace for Sanderson when I tried him out. Maybe I was a bit of like a rotten young adult. So let's try him out again. So I went and tried him out again. And I didn't like it then. And I tried him out again because the love never ended. Like, it wasn't just love, it was deification. You guys were deifying Brandon Sanderson, and I will not hear any arguments to the contrary because you fucking were. Okay, I tried 3 fucking doorstoppers of books because you guys told me Brandon Sanderson was great. Brandon Sanderson's prose is among the absolute worst I've ever read in popular SFF. It's just boring. It's nothing. His characters are nothing. And the man is the symbol of the repression that I've come to grossly attach to the worst parts of the millennial experience and the Gen Z experience. The sexual repression I find within his work is disgusting, is offensive to me. How do you write like this, all of these books? Are we going to say the M word? Are we going to say the Mormon word? Am I going to offend people? We gave a Mormon a fucking mansion for writing these repressed, ultra basic fantasy stories that he stretches out to 1,000 fucking pages. We gave a Mormon a mansion who fucking works part time as a professor at BYU. Like, we're cool with BYU now? We're cool with Mormonism now? Okay, we're fine. We're fine. This isn't a thing against Mormonism. It's just, calm the fuck down. Let's calm the fuck down. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. I just well, it kind of is that serious if you guys were for at least a decade telling everyone that Brandon Sanderson was the reincarnated fucking Tolkien. Like, it matters. It matters. I'm No, he's not allowed into the Hall of Legends. He's a fucking loser, and I think he writes really bad books. Was this supposed to be a lighthearted video? Was it supposed? Okay, maybe I take some things more personally than I should. I think Brandon Sanderson is really bad. I think Brandon Sanderson is really boring, and I think he's been fucking glazed for years and years and years by basically young people with next to zero life experience. And the more life experience they get, the less they can connect with Brandon Sanderson. And I want to be like, well, obviously, there's a reason why he's on this list and like Joe Abercrombie isn't. You know, they're like equally pretty popular, equally overrated if you want to call them that. But Joe's actually okay. He brings something to the table. Whatever. But you gaslit me, booktubers, 2 or 3 times into giving Brandon Sanderson 2 or 3 chances, who at this point is a glorified podcaster. Thanks. Thanks, booktubers. What's the third one? The third one. I actually still have my copy of the Starless Sea. I'm not as upset about this one as I am about the first 2. The Starless Sea, magical realist, whatever, fantasy by Aaron Morgenstern. I just thought it was really bad, really, really, really awful. And I should have really, really liked it because, like the main character, here has the main. Let's not even include that. That's way too personal. Never mind. Uh, I just really didn't like it. I thought it was nauseatingly bad, right? I thought people were just overhyping this book. I'm not as serious about this one as I am about the first two, like I just said. Mostly because while I didn't like the Starless Sea, I can understand and appreciate not only certain things about the books, but certain things about the booktube videos that I watched talking about this book. It at least provides decent discourse that Jade City, that Fonda Lee and Brandon Sanderson do not foster. So I've seen good discourse come from the Starless Sea, even though I think you guys are full of shit about it. But it leads us into the first time that booktube didn't gaslight me. The first example, because it's Aaron Morgenstern and it's the Night Circus. Y'all were going crazy about the Night Circus. Everyone was fucking giving this book sloppy toppy, and I loved it. Actually, it's quite good. It's quite excellent. I think it's a delightful love story. I'm not the biggest romance reader, but I just fell into the magic here. I loved the characters. Hell, like I love the side characters. I don't even remember her name, but like the chick who works at the circus who definitely used to be an apprentice of like one of the two dudes, and she had like tattoos all over her body. She was like Asian. I still think about that character just being awesome. There's so many cool things about this book, and I would never have read anything by Aaron Morgenstern if it wasn't for BookTube. I think I bought these two at the same time. So, like, in one case, yeah, I was disappointed and let down heavily. But in the other, I was like, wow, this is great. I see what y'all were talking about. So good on you. I would never have read this book if it wasn't for BookTube. And even though I didn't like this one, I'm looking forward to another Aaron Morgenstern book because, like, one for two isn't that bad, especially when the one that I liked, I liked as much as I did. It's really good. It's like maybe one of the best romantic. Is it a romantasy? Does this count? If it is, then it's the best one I ever read. It's also like one of the only ones though, so don't let that go to your head. But yeah, see, I can speak positively about that. Look, I'm sorry. It's just Brandon Sanderson, man. I'm not like a certified hater. Like I think I've mentioned not liking him once before in a history of all of my videos, just in passing. And I probably won't talk about him again unless I'm like heavily prompted to. But the amount of accolades and worship that I see thrown that man's way is confusing more than anything else. And look, I think that books like Jade City and hyper simplistic books of their ilk, books that are, I, I think obviously Sanderson has changed fantasy, and I don't think he's changed it for the better, personally. So that's why I'm so animated about Brandon Sanderson. I also didn't put much like thought into this video or list. This was like very quick, so these aren't like long harbored obsessive hatreds of mine. But number 4 is the Poppy War. You guys were going crazy about this book too. I'm a little bit more forgiving to this book because the author R.F. Kuang, correct, was basically a fucking kid when she wrote it, and I just don't think it's like a professional level book. I think it's pretty amateurish. I also think it's boring. I think it's basic. The same kind of problems that I have with Fonda Lee and Brandon Sanderson, but to a lesser degree. Because, like I said, I feel like when I'm criticizing the Poppy War, I'm picking on a fucking child. I don't know how old she was. Well, how old was she when she wrote it? I just feel like she was really young. If she wasn't really young, then yeah, we have some problems with the Poppy War that maybe we need to get a little bit more animated about. Age when wrote it. She was just 19. She began writing it. It was officially published before she turned 22. That's still super young, man. Um, can't all be Carson McCullers, dude. Like, I don't know. It reads like it's written by someone who's in their early 20s. And that's kind of the biggest thing that's wrong with it for me, at the risk of sounding ageist. you're dealing with really heavy things in the Poppy War, but in, I think, extremely naive or simplified ways, which makes the reading experience kind of offensive. Now, should we do another time that, like, you guys steered me in the right direction to kind of meet out, you know, all the negativity that I'm vomiting all over the place? Because this is a pretty big one. Now, I had heard of Malazan before. Obviously, I'm on House of Chains right now, by the way. I had heard of Malazan before, but I never pulled the trigger on it because, from the outside looking in, intimidating isn't the right word. It just looks like a big commitment, because it is a big commitment, right? It'd be devoting a whole lot of time to Malazan. But a lot of booktubers that I admired were just really blown away by this book, and some of their words, some of their videos convinced me to finally actually do it, finally actually pick up Gardens of the Moon. I'm so happy that I did, because Gardens of the Moon specifically is one of my favorite books of all time. Like I said, I'm on House of Chains right now, and this is a series that is in the process actively changing my life, I think, in a positive way. And I wouldn't have actually pulled the trigger if not for a small handful of booktubers who I really do admire and look up to in a couple different ways. Just you can see it in a video when a reviewer kind of loses themselves for like 15 seconds, and it's just something pure happens, and that seems to happen a lot with people when they talk about Malazan, and I had to experience that for myself. Yeah, Gardens of the Moon was great. If I can complain, because I'm good at that, y'all did tell me that this was the worst one, and so far this is easily the best one out of the first four, at least. But dude, good on you, BookTube, for convincing me, getting me to finally read the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I would not have pulled the trigger if it wasn't for you guys, or I would have started it years down the road, which I've already put it off for way too long. And now, the fifth time I felt gaslit by BookTube was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, because I'm a big fan of. I don't feel like reaching all the way over. My bookshelves over there. I'm kind of a rebel booktuber. I don't film in front of my bookshelf, and I don't know why. It's right there. You don't even get to see it, dude. Just imagine it. Imagine all the great, beautiful titles and all the different colors on the spines. You don't even get to see it. But I have my Loch Lamora books over there. And I feel like people were trying to tell me that if I liked Loch Lamora, if I liked that style of fantasy, that tone of fantasy, that I would love Six of Crows. And no, I hated Six of Crows. If I wanted to read a young adult book, I would read a young adult book. Not to get into like the discourse that I find boring surrounding young adult literature, but I do think that there's a lot of adult fantasy books that are pretending to be young adult books, or young adult books pretending to be adult books. Whatever. It's circular. It's recursive. It's fucking annoying. I think it's a some more examples of the infantilization, not only of my own generation and the generation below me, but of readers and of the reading hobby itself, like being infantilized by books that call themselves for adults, but it has the tone, it has the maturity, it has the language, the prose, and the themes of a young adult novel, which isn't supposed to be a criticism of young adult books, because young adult books should have different goals and different audiences. What the point is, they don't anymore. Then you end up getting books like Six of Crows, The Poppy War, and Jade City, which I think handle adult materials with the mentality of a young adult author, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it so much. And Six of Crows is just so basic, so boring to me, and to me derivative. Just a fucking bad book, and it's the only book I've read by Leigh Bardugo, though. She could have other, all of these authors could have other great books. I went hard on Jade City. I doubt it, but Jade War, Jade Legacy, the last contract of the Space Samurai could be good. All right, Brandon Sanderson. There's nothing he could ever write that could be good, though. but everyone else could probably write something good. Now, this fucking video sucks. Now, the third time that BookTube gave me some good advice, pushed me in the right direction, brought light to my shadowy universe, is recent. Because yeah, I got Jade City because I wanted to have a breath of fresh air from the dark fantasy, from the more grim dark books that I normally read. Because I like other stuff that's not just dark fantasy. And Jade City let me down, but I went to see what some of my favorite booktubers were talking about. And just like always, they were talking about someone called Queen Hobb? Queen Robin Hobb? Is that how you pronounce this amazing name? Beautiful prose, beautiful story, so much heart, so much sensitivity, and I'm in love with this series already. I'm in love with Robin Hobb as a writer. Just good fucking prose matters so fucking much. So much. Uh, I love the way she writes. So you guys were right about this one. And I don't think I would have read this if it wasn't for BookTube. I really don't. I really don't. So thank you guys. Even though I have like 3 examples of the times where I think BookTube gave me possibly life-changing recommendations, and 5 times where you guys pissed me off royally, the 3 times where y'all did me a solid, did me something good, they matter so much more than those 5 negative ones. Come on, we got Malazan and the Night Circus, and now Robin Hobb as a whole. You guys did so well with those 3, so thank you so much. This was, I think, supposed to be lighthearted, but then I realized as I was making the video that I have some heated feelings, complicated feelings about some of the ones that I had negative things to say about. Yeah, I just thought I was going to be like, Brandon Sanderson's overrated, not, what the fuck are we doing giving Mormons mansions? Like, dude, what are you, chill, what are you talking about? But at the same time, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's worth asking. It's worth thinking about. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do you have a feeling? Do you have a memory of being gaslit by booktubers? Hell, book talkers. I don't watch book talk, but I am sure the gaslighting's unreal over there. Okay, if I was 10, 15 years younger, my shelves would be full of books that I wouldn't realize that I hated until I was the age I am now, and I'd be very upset about it. I don't know. I just feel like it's weird that nothing conspiratorial at all. I don't think anyone's paid to do a review, especially do reviews, not even a group of people. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a funny thing, like a funny psychic thing. I don't know, this contagious bout of bad taste that goes around, and they all say the same fucking shit about the same mediocre books. And like they hype it up so much that even if a book truly is mid, this one I think is a little less than mid. But if everyone wasn't saying it's the best thing since sliced motherfucking bread, then I wouldn't have been so harsh to it, you know. But it is weird. It's weird that all these different booktubers seem to get the same memo when the arc comes in the mail, and they're like, what, groundbreaking, genre defining, a fucking generational classic. Like, what? No. Stop it. Thank you for watching me. Bye for now.